All right, Dan, thank you. State Senator Angela Paxton says her husband, Attorney General Ken Paxton, committed adultery.
She raised the allegations in a divorce filing today, and it's already becoming a campaign issue with Ken Paxton in the middle of a very high-profile challenge of four-term Texas U.S. Senator John Cornyn. Fox 4's David Centenary live with what both Paxtons had to say today. David.
Yeah, Stephen, Heather, some might say these allegations could not come at a worse time for Attorney General Ken Paxton, but keep in mind, throughout the past, his supporters have stood by him throughout past allegations.
Now, this revelation may shake that up a bit.
State Senator Angela Paxton filing for divorce from her husband, Texas Attorney General Ken Paxton, Thursday morning. In her divorce petition, she claims she and Ken Paxton ceased to live together as spouses on or about June 1st, 2024. The petition goes on to say Ken Paxton has committed adultery, the two posting starkly different statements on X.
Whereas Angela Paxton's tweet focuses much more on the misdeeds of Ken Paxton, on presumably infidelity and the things that led to their breakup.
Senator Angela Paxton posting, "Today, after 38 years of marriage, I filed for divorce on biblical grounds. I believe marriage is a sacred covenant and I have earnestly pursued reconciliation. But in light of recent discoveries, I do not believe that it honors God or is loving to myself, my children, or Ken to remain in the marriage." Meanwhile, Ken Paxton posting, after facing the pressures of countless political attacks and public scrutiny, Angela and I have decided to start a new chapter in our lives. SMU political science professor Matthew Wilson.
There's no way this can be spun in a positive way for him, but he's clearly trying to diffuse the situation.
Ken Paxton is challenging U.S. Senator John Cornyn in next spring's Republican primary.
The polling that I've seen thus far shows Paxton with a pretty solid lead over Cornyn. I think you'd have to regard him as the favorite in the race for the Republican nomination.
Will divorce and infidelity allegations, however, change public perception? Last month, Ken Paxton's felony securities fraud case was dismissed after he completed a pretrial diversion program.
Opponents were already going to stress the pattern of corruption allegations that have dogged Ken Paxton for the last decade. Now they can add to that accusations of marital infidelity.
In 2023, Ken Paxton was acquitted on 16 articles of impeachment regarding allegations of bribery and abusing office on behalf of a friend and campaign donor. During the impeachment trial, House impeachment managers alleged that the Attorney General had an affair with a woman. She was called as a witness during the trial, but was deemed unavailable to testify. Paxton has shown the ability to endure serious allegations time and time again.
I think he's got a lot of resources to try to overcome this, and he's got the luxury of time. That is, it's not until 2026 that election will be contested.
So keep in mind, Angela Paxton's post to X talks about, quote, recent discoveries. The paperwork, however, the court documents do not reveal what time frame she's talking about or any specific details. Heather and Steve, back to y'all.
All right, David, thank you.